Welcome back to Switch to Linux. Well, today we're going to be talking about how you can set up LibreOffice to have better compatibility with MS Office. Trust me when I say the problem is not LibreOffice, the problem is actually MS Office. Because Microsoft does not like necessarily the open sourciness, at least it classically hasn't in the past, it will not make their system work well. So if you take a document from LibreOffice and open it in Word, it gives you at least on Word 07, why bother upgrading more than that? It gives you a scary warning, whoa, and then another warning, oh, there's unrecoverable stuff. You click OK and everything's perfect. But we're going to teach you how to not get those errors and how to have a little bit better compatibility should you need to be using LibreOffice to send files back and forth to other Office users. We're going to be focusing on Writer. The things that we apply can be done on other systems as well. But with that being said, let's say hello to everybody. So Paper Bag Man says hello, gents, greetings there, and Hank. Sorry, Hank, I am, this is the time for the Wednesday. Thursday is actually an hour earlier now. That is at 6, when I can do it at 6. And then I, of course, have the Saturday between 12 and 1, but you're asleep now. So hopefully you come back, watch us later, and figure that out. All right, and a bunch of you guys are telling him that. Yes, the kitty is here. Okay, so hello, see the boss. Hello at 54TL and pizza. Yu-Gi-Oh Master, greetings, sir. How are you? Bitlop, is it Boptalop? Boptalop, is that, did I say that right? Boptalop. Greetings. How's it going there? Noah, yo, sup, dude? All right, Stephen Paul, how's it going there? Proud Mint user, very good, very awesome. Proud Google Chrome user, what you say? Block? No, kidding. Use whatever you need to, man. Use whatever you need to, as long as you're aware of the dangers. Noah is on Snapchat. All right. Okay. Cannot wait to see the day where Linux on gaming on Linux is mainstream. This is the good thing that Google is doing with their Chromebooks and things like that, is the bigger Chrome OS gets, the more compatibility we're going to get with Linux, because Chrome is actually Linux. Chrome OS, I should say, is based, it's a modified Gen 2. Q and Fiend, greetings, Libre Secure, hello there. Richard Addison, greetings. KO2610, your number is called. Antic Designs, I know you were about to go to bed. I just had to extract another hour from you. I mean, come on, come on. Yes, and I do have Switch to Linux merch. If you were unaware of that, it is at shop.switchtolinux.com. I do have things like, this is in my stainless steel coffee cup. I also have stainless steel water bottles. And real cool Switch to Linux mouse pad. And I have some other things on there, t-shirts, shopping bags, weird stuff like that. So, yes, if you were unaware, you can pick those up, shop.switchedtolinux.com. I have a short link for it, too. I can't remember what it is. I think it's I forget. I'll have to remember that one. I've created my short link system, and I will be releasing probably this week. I have 2 videos that are already done, recorded, and edited, and I'll release those this week. One of those is getting Brother scanner drivers to work on Debian-based systems, and the other one is how to create your own self-hosted short link system. So, of course, I now have, you can easily get to the Switch to Linux website by going to tlm.li/STL, which is now in the comment feed. So I built an entire short link system, and I have a tutorial about how to do that, and that will be out this week. All right, let's see. Yeah, he did have a trying day because he got a really bad flea bath, and he's still covered in fleas, so he's going to get sprayed down with poison tonight. He is going to get totally covered head to toe in flea poison. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to have to take him to the vet and get the medication that turns his blood into literal poison. I mean, I don't really want to do that, but even after the flea bath, he still had several dozen fleas on him. I mean, it was insane. It was insane. Or I guess before I could do that, I could also try shaving the kitty too. So I'm not sure kitty would look good shaved, but I could try shaving the kitty. Let's see. Okay, I've seen Matema machines. Now to get rid of deepen. Imagine. Okay, let's see. Hello. Did you say hello? Nah, I said hello, but that's close enough. Greetings, Frost Ranger, the Frozen Realm, and Gavin. How's it going there, Gavin? Alright, let's see. Yay, animation. Greetings, Keegan, the Tennessean, and Daniel. How's it going there? Audio is low again? Really? Huh. Interesting. I'm not sure why it's low. Check, check, check. How's that? Is that a little better? Let me just move the mic a little bit closer. I just maxed it out and moved it closer. Hopefully that's better. Sounds fine on my end. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, alright. Guess what I'm eating right now? Pizza? Pizza, pizza. Oh yeah, it's pizza. Well, maybe I'll make some pizza tomorrow. I think I have enough pizza sauce left from the last batch of sauce that I made. I think I have enough sauce for 3 more full pizzas. 220902 Friday. Greetings, LeShark. How's it going there? I don't get that Friday. I don't know. 90210 Friday? I don't know. Okay. Can you solve the segmentation fault in KDE menu editor, or should I assist you? Oh, okay. That's for pizza. Pizza, pizza. Alright. I don't have an issue. Arch is the only distro. KDE works perfectly for me. Every other distro. Is it also pretty hot in my place? It's not too hot where I'm at. Okay, Noah will be right back. You still suggesting Debian Mint over regular Mint? Regular Mint generally will work better. Debian Mint, especially right now, I mean, it still has LibreOffice 4 in it. They are working on a refresh to it. It should be out within a couple months. At least we should see a beta within a couple months. I mean, they're both good. If you want newer software, definitely go with the more recent one. Always going to be a better call. So that's for that. And there's a few other little odds and ends that Ubuntu does pretty good at, so you get that. Don't give the kitty a lion cut. All right. Yeah, I don't really want to do that, because although he'd probably be furry again the next day because of how much cat fur that thing produces. Audio is better now. All right, very good. All right, shave the kitty while it's hot out. No poison. Greetings, Eric Defoe. How's it going there? Any vets listening? I mean, any vets listening to my voice? What can you recommend? Like legit vets, not like I've had enough armchair advice from enough people. So I might have to call the vet if I don't see an improvement very soon. All right, well, we've gotten to the bottom of the comments, so I'm going to go ahead. Thank you, Analog. I appreciate that, man. Is there such thing as 100% secure and private? It depends on what you're doing with things. Let's go back and address that question later. I mean, in general, probably not if you're connecting something to the internet. But that doesn't mean that just because you're on the internet doesn't mean that privacy's out the window, so why bother? So those are kind of the things. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to start the recording. And I'm actually going to record this and re-release it more concise because I think a lot of people will probably want to watch this, and I don't necessarily want to do it with all the comment feeds. So just go ahead and put anything else in there. If there's any other general LibreOffice questions, throw them in there and we'll see if I can get those done. But we're going to go ahead and start the recording, and I'm going to re-roll the intro. Welcome back to Switch2Linux. Today we're going to be doing a little tutorial on how you can set up LibreOffice for better compatibility with Microsoft Office. Now, to be sure, LibreOffice isn't the problem. The fact is that Microsoft Office does not want to work with the open office formats that work with all of the other platforms. And so while they actually generally render just fine, it gives you a lot of scare errors and things like, be careful who sent you this and all this kind of stuff. It's literally Microsoft trying to keep their product the #1 place to go to. And frankly, Microsoft Office, particularly I use Word a lot. I use LibreOffice Writer a lot, but I also have to interface with some things with Word. It is a very good Office application. And if it wasn't for Microsoft's data collection attempts, if it wasn't for their proprietary software and their anti-competitive nature, I might be more open and amicable to using it. Especially since they're pushing more and more and more to have a subscription service to it rather than simply outright buying it. And the reality is, in this world where income is getting smaller and smaller, we have to be tighter and tighter with money. We don't have the money to throw out $100 a month for Adobe products, $10 a month for Office products, all to do basic functionality. Why bother when there's something like LibreOffice that exists? I'm an author and I write and produce my books on LibreOffice and they get accepted by the publisher. Period. Well, I'm the publisher. They get accepted by the printer. All that can be done with LibreOffice, and it's not a ton of extra steps. There are some extra steps in some areas, and I'm working on some other videos about other more advanced ways of using LibreOffice. But for now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can get your system set up. So we're going to be bouncing between two machines. I've installed a fresh copy of Linux Mint on one computer, and we're going to be going over there and having a look at the steps that we need to do. So briefly, number one biggest problem is that LibreOffice default format, file format, is the Open Office document format. I think it's ODT, Open Document Type, which causes a hissy fit if you attempt to open a Microsoft Office, open a document of that format in Microsoft Office. So one simple step, we're just going to change the default to docx. If you generally are not necessarily needing that, it's very simple to just keep it how it is. And then if you need to send something to a person who only uses Microsoft Office, just save as a docx file, okay? And so that's kind of what you need to do. This next thing, though, is that the fonts, oftentimes the fonts that are installed on a Linux system are different than the fonts that are installed on a Microsoft or a Windows system. And so a lot of the incompatibilities are actually font incompatibilities. So we're going to walk through how to install fonts on your system and then how to change your default fonts and things like that. So let's jump on over to Linux Mint. This is the one that we're going to be using. Now I threw a document here which has the packages we're going to need to install. I have a folder here with some fonts that are not inside the packages we're going to install. So these we are going to install with your just with your ability to manually installing fonts. And then we're going to be running a script to install the clear type fonts, and we're going to be running another script or a Linux application to install the regular ones. So the first thing you want is, you can do this through Synaptic. The first one you can do through Synaptic. You can do it through, I don't know if you can do it in the Software Center. Let's go ahead and check. What we're looking for is the package that is called TrueType Fonts. Now, the difference here is that so right here is the one we want, TTF MS Core Font Installer, which you can run in the terminal, you can run anywhere else. This installs all of the old fonts before Windows Vista that were common on a Windows computer. So it will install the Arial, Comic Sans, Lord help us, Times New Roman, Verdana, Webdings, things like that. Now, this is these fonts were actually considered kind of open and out in the community. The clear type fonts is a little bit more of an interesting thing. The reason there's no installer package for those core type fonts is that they were never actually released to the they were never really released to the community like the MS Core fonts were, so we can't have a package for it. However, they are freely distributed, and so sure, we were going to sign over our child to Microsoft by accepting the EULA. It's one of those horrible things you need to do. They never released them as open like they did with the MS Core fonts. but they have released them freely available, so we can still legally install them in pretty much every jurisdiction. Check your own jurisdiction to be sure for yourself, but nearly every jurisdiction you can do that. So what we're going to do, okay, that's done now. We are going to install a script that is going to install those. Now, to do that, we have to install a font folder. Linux Mint does something a little bit unusual in the world. So when you install a font manually in Linux Mint, it puts it into a different location than most distros do. And I'm forgetting exactly where it is. I think I can find it, and we'll look for it. So these are two font families that you find, the ones on the right, that you find in Windows that are not in either the clear type fonts or the core fonts. These are, is it Segoa, I think is the name of the one, and Tahoma. So if you double click on a font on Linux Mint, you can click the install button, and that's going to install it into your system. So you see it says installed now. So if we come over to the window on the left, I'm going to hold Control and hit H to show hidden files. Most Linux distros and Linux Mint, it will work. It just doesn't do it by default. If you create a folder, it's called .fonts. Any of those fonts will be installed on that particular Linux user's device. If you go into the file system, and I forget exactly which directory it is, you can install fonts for the entire system. I want to say it's in local share fonts. This is where they're installed now on Linux Mint, local share fonts. We actually want, though, to use the font directory. So we're going to create a new folder. Now, of course, in Linux, the dot gives you a hidden folder. We're going to do .fonts. And the reason we're going to do this is that the script that we need to run, it's going to download those to the fonts. But the script does not actually have a line that checks if this directory is made. So if that .fonts directory is not created, then it will actually error out. So what we're going to do is, this is a script that's going to install the Vista fonts, which are also known as the clear fonts. So I'm going to pull up a terminal, holding Control Alt and T will bring up a Linux terminal. Control Shift and V will paste that in, and this should work. I didn't test this, so these were done. Okay. Okay. PowerPoint viewer.exe. No valid cabinets found. I'm going to have to look into this one. Maybe we'll just skip these fonts. That should have actually downloaded it. I know have run this script before, and that's kind of where I found it. Let's just go ahead and find it. Maybe we'll find another script somewhere. This is called the clear fonts. Let's do install MS clear fonts. Oh, I'm done using Mint. I have Yahoo. Okay. I think that's just going to give me the information on the core fonts. I don't want the core fonts, I want the clear fonts. Let's do the PC World one. So apparently you might actually have to, you know what? We might actually have to install this. This package, this cab extract, this should be installed if you installed the core fonts, but let's just go ahead and double check if that's not an error. Okay, so that's there. Yeah, so that should actually be installing our fonts. Or you know what? It might have actually installed the fonts and just didn't install the one thing. Let's go ahead and boot up LibreOffice and double check. So the font that tells us if we are correct is if Calibri is installed. So it's Calibri, and I forget what the other family were, but it might have installed my fonts. So let's just go ahead and double check if Calibri is installed. So it is not installed. You can see Arial is installed, Comic Sans is installed. So it did install the core fonts just fine. Let's go ahead and have a look at this guy again. So let's try refining our search term. Install. That's the same. Is this? I think this is the same article I just had, right? Sometimes it's just this. Okay, so this one here is the core fonts. Okay. Yeah, the last time I ran this script, it did actually work just fine. We might just have to skip that part. My guess is maybe they have changed the package to kill all these Linux distros from installing it. That's kind of my guess. Bummer. Those are TTFs. See if any of you guys know. Leave me in notes in the comments there. I could always just grab it from a Windows machine. That's my guess. My guess is Microsoft broke the package. I'm going to check one more link that I saw down here and see if this gets it. Well, we can add a repo for Calibri at least. Let's go ahead and do this one. Let's verify what we're going to do. Install Calibri library. All right. Do that. Oh, that one's not found either. It's because it's not updated yet. We're going to have to skip the Calibri font. Looks like Microsoft killed the ability. All right, well, let's just go ahead and exit out of our terminal. We'll just go ahead and manually install the rest of these fonts over here. So at least we'll have this family. So we would need to get Calibri. We can grab that from a Windows machine that will already have that. You can download from other sources or working with the scripts. It's very possible it could just be an issue. This is based on Ubuntu 18, whatever. So let's go ahead and now move on to our next step. So our next step is we're going to boot up our LibreOffice again. And now what we want to do is we want to come in and under our tools and under our options, we need to change a couple of options. You want to first look at your load and save option and hit general. So this one down here is going to, at the always save as, this is the one that it wants to default save as the open document type. What you want to do is change this to docx. Microsoft Word 2007 to 2013 docx file. So changing to that, anytime you now save a document, it's going to automatically save it as a docx file. All right. So next, we're going to go back into our options and go under our writer. and basic fonts. Now we're going to do Western here. Some parts of the world you might want to do the Asian. Now you're going to change your default. So here's your default font, heading, list, caption, and index. Now we're just going to change these to something that will exist on the Windows machine. So you could do Arial. Since I don't have Calibri, Arial is close to that, and that will be installed on any Linux, or excuse me, on any Windows machine running Office. So now we're just going to use Arial for everything. Now we are going to close down our application. We're going to not save it. Open LibreWriter back up. We should now have a default of Arial. This is just a test. I'm going to save the document. Let's just go ahead and save that onto the desktop as Untitled 2. And then what you see here is it saves as a docx file. Now, in theory, I actually threw a Microsoft account on the online accounts here so I can move this file over, but so mail and documents. In theory, I should be able to access that, but it's not showing up where I want it to show up. I should actually see that down here. Let's see. See, what should happen is it should give me a mounted file there. Let me see if there's another place I can access documents from. My guess is if I actually go online to the online system and do that. Let's just go ahead and we're just going to go ahead and move it to my network. So we'll come back over here, check in on the comments. I'm going to move stuff over to the other network. Just got to sign into that. All right, threw that document over there. Of course, I don't think going to Windows is going to help me at this point. So the thing is that I didn't have the Windows set up. I can't get the Office installer to work on Windows. So what my goal was is to get that document into my into the Microsoft Office cloud and then just open it up over there. So we'll see what I can do, and then we'll get some good edits going here. So let me check in on comments. Well, Wind Blows is booting up. Gavin, thank you very much, man. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't get Calibri working. Man, last time I ran the script, it worked just fine. So I'm like, I didn't want to test it because I didn't want to have to undo a bunch of stuff and things like that. Start evening classes for IT and networking. Very good, man. Awesome. Test WPS Office. No, I don't want to test WPS Office. WPS Office is closed source, so EULA is a little scary. I just don't see a reason to it, and I really hate the way it looks. So, not a vet, call pest control. Yep. I might need to do that. All right. Windows Phone, yeah, always wanted one, but sadly they're discontinued. I thought they rebooted them again. I thought they restarted the Windows phones. Really? No. I don't want to find an app in the store. Why do people use Windows? This is such an infuriating system. Windows sucks. can't access my network drives. So Linux Mint, I couldn't get the folder into the cloud account. This, I can't get the file onto this particular system. So I can't show you that actual file. What I'm gonna have to do is I'll have to get it merged over there and re-record something later. I just got to figure out what solution I want to do to make that happen. I go back to the Linux Mint system. Let me go back to Linux Mint system and just log into the thing over there. Let's just do that. All right, Mint user, greetings, Steve. Yep. Okay. Might test it on Windows because there's a problem. It's easy, called Fiddler. Windows 10 fries HP netbooks. Everyone uses Microsoft products. Because everyone uses Microsoft products because everyone. Yep. Never needed to use MS Office. Everything I need to do is on LibreOffice. Yep. I don't trust DocX formats. Only use RTF format now. Yeah. Bought Office but never use it. Main thing that drove me away from MS Office was the subscription model instead of the license model. Okay. Windows 10 sucks, slow and even on low-end laptops. Yeah, it's pretty horrible. Unlock that. Yeah, it does suck on high-end stuff too. Yeah, I agree with that. All right, let's do... Anyone know how you actually find, like, what is the... I don't want the store. Is this it? Or is this it? Microsoft really has to figure their stuff out. Sign into your account. Let's do... Hey, there we are. Let's see. Can I upload a document? I'm over here. Yeah. Hey. Why not? You know, this is fun for you guys. Can I figure out how to do things in the online thing? I just created this account so I could do some basic testing. More in OneDrive. Is there stuff in OneDrive? There you go. Upload a file. Woohoo! I'm uploading a file. All right. Okay. Well, there we go. It works with Word Online. Let's see what happens if we upload a... let's go ahead and open this back up in LibreOffice. We're going to upload a ODT files. Let's see what it does. Okay. File, save as, DT, save that. Look at this horrendous ODT file. Okay, upload a file. So it works just fine on, some compatibility issues could occur if you edit this file. Oh no, Lord help us, the world is coming to an end. All right. I'm going to go back over to, I'm going to close this window, I'm going to close this window. I'm going to go back over and start recording seriously again. So I'm going to give it like 10 seconds of silence, because actually I'm going to make a loud noise, and then I'm going to do 10 seconds of silence so I can find my cut point in my recorded video. Okay, so I've logged into my OneDrive account. We're just still doing this on Linux Mint here. So I've went into my Microsoft account, logged in here, went over to OneDrive, and then what I did is I took the same document, and you can see here's the LibreOffice with the docx file, and then I also saved it as a .odt. So it's the same file. So you can see LibreOffice doesn't care about either one. It's just fine either way. So I uploaded those both into my OneDrive account, and of course if I click on the doc file, this will open up the doc file, and it has no problems at all. It should see the font, which is Arial, so we do have the Arial font in there. It has no problems at all. It seems to work just fine. Okay, but if I take the ODT file and open that up, you'll see that it does just fine, but then the JavaScript catches up and is like, oh Lord, we have an ODT file. Look at that scary warning. Same type of thing. You know, there is no reason Microsoft Office can't figure out how to do this. They just don't want to. So hopefully this helped you figure it out. Again, I use the Arial font here because I edited the part out, but the Calibri fonts, something changed somewhere in the script, and the scripts I had aren't working anymore. So what I'd want to do to get the Calibri fonts and the other fonts you might need is just manually transfer them over like we did the Tahoma font. And so with this, it works just fine. LibreOffice doesn't care, but if you just make those adjustments, just changing your fonts to fonts that will be found on a Windows machine, and change your file type, default file type to docx, and use docx files inside LibreOffice, and you send those out to people who are running Microsoft Office, you shouldn't see any issues or any problems. So hopefully that helps you get things more compatible, and let me know if that was beneficial to you. So thanks for watching this video. Let me know other things you'd like to know in LibreOffice in the comments down below, and I will roll out those videos as I get great ideas. You can actually help support the channel if you want to. Check out switchtolinux.com/support. I am on Patreon, patreon.com/TomM. And don't forget to swing by the merchant shop at shop.switchtolinux.com. So thanks for watching, and hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. All right, so let me close down this VirtualBox, and then we will stick around and hang out for as long as you guys hang out. When I run out of comments in the thread, then we'll end the stream. All right, and I'm going to be doing a more concise, better edit of that video out. Hopefully I'll get that done today, and that'll be rolled out, so we should have that a little bit later here. All right, so Richard Addison, yay, Comic Sans, no Wingdings. Wingdings is actually included in MS Core fonts. And thank you, Gavin, for that super chat once again. I appreciate that, man. Never understood the deep hatred for Comic Sans. It's just a font. I think the deep hatred comes from the fact that people overused it in strange settings. As long as we're not finding it on, like, never mind. I don't want to go there. That was going to be a really bad joke. Filter turned on. All right. Greetings, Nick. How's it going there? Managed to make a persistent USB with Linux Mint. My path to Linux is well on the way. Love your videos. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Remember having to always use Times New Roman for essays in school and college. I used, we didn't have a font restriction on the one paper, and it was a hard field. I mean, we were doing it on fiber optics back like 20 years ago, so it was a fairly new field in my advanced inorganic chemistry class. And I remember he didn't have a font restriction. He had a size restriction. I found a font that took way more space than it should have. Oh, it was awesome. I forget what font it was. It was one of the Courier fonts. It was great. Using Arch user repository package. Very cool. Pizza. Pizza. What's the best free screen recorder for Windows 10? OBS, frankly. Although it's more complicated. But check out the videos on my channel. It works the same whether you're doing Linux or that. Also, Noah, Xbox, actually, the Xbox app on Windows also is a screen recorder, although I don't know how to use it. But it is built in. Bitlop hates Arial more than Comic Sans. Oh boy. This package has Decor Online template service. Listen to your laptop and how it breathes, how hot it gets with Windows 10. Death is clearly predicted right in your face. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is Windows 10 has this thing where it constantly maxes out the hard drive. That's just not good for hard drives. Please, Microsoft, make Windows Phone a thing again. Dot for hidden files is a general Unix thing. Yep. Tried OBS, it didn't work. Yes, it does, Noah. It's difficult to configure. Noah, I have a couple videos on my channel about how to configure OBS. Look into those videos. Because what you have to do is you have to add a source that is a you need to add a screen capture source in your system. So that's what you need to do. All right. Linux is illy. When something goes wrong, internet is your best friend. Yes. I think Microsoft should at least create an official Metro launcher. There's many lookalikes on the Play Store, but what an official one. Yeah. Use all search engines. Yahoo. Alright, let's see. Whoa, lots of comments. Lots of comments. Guess we'll be here for a while. You, STL, use DuckDuckGo. I'm not a big fan of DuckDuckGo. I use StartPage. Looking for a brief one that is established when you open the software. Okay, updating font cache, see if they appear. I didn't see them in there. MS Core Fonts was kind of wonky when I installed it. I had to uninstall it and reinstall it to get LibreOffice to detect it. Really like Calibri when I first saw it, but since it's the default MS font, I'm tired of seeing it everywhere. I was the same way. I thought it was really cool when I first saw it myself. SwitchedtoLinux is expecting technical difficulties. We will be right back. Everyone needs WebDing fonts on their computer. Yeah. Reason Arial is so popular is because Microsoft is cheap and didn't want to pay for Helvetica. How old are the articles? Perhaps LibreOffice Wiki shot some tips on how to install MS fonts. Well, it had to do with the fact that the extractor now wants the .exe. In fact, maybe it worked on the other system because I have Wine installed. There's a thought. But I don't know. Changing it to docx when you need it in the save dialog. That's what I generally do on my systems. That's why I did this on a VirtualBox. But for people that prefer to use LibreOffice, that are always in work environments with people using Microsoft Office, it's important to probably change it to docx just so that you don't forget one day and then everyone's like, "Hey, he sent me a virus." No, you're just computer incompetent, sir. That's the thing. That's why I do, but it's just whatever works for you, really. Greetings, James Miller. How are you? All right, let's also take a poll while we're here. Should I release... Do you guys want to see the installing scanner drivers on a Debian system next? Or should we do the how to create your own self-hosted short link file next? Let me know. And I actually have them both sitting on my computer ready to go. I just haven't posted the other one yet, and maybe I'll do one. Let's see. No, I'll do one tomorrow and one Friday, because I'm gonna do this video edited today. This afternoon. Ugh, bad day. Yeah, that's what my kitty said. Any hints? Any hints for what? Currently packaging Windows 10 fonts for you guys. Don't tell MS. Cool. Thank you, Samuel Lord. That's awesome. Okay, people use Windows because they are used to it. Yep. Forced to use Windows because I game. As long as you don't iGame. Everyone uses Microsoft products. Does everyone use Microsoft? Yeah. Plenty of games for Linux, yeah. He might want specific games, so I'm cool with that. Use Windows because I actually like it. I'm used to both Linux and Windows. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind Windows except the whole data collection, constantly updating, ramping up the drive to 100%, maxing out the memory, maxing out the internet connection. Lord help us. If they got rid of all that crap, I'd have no problem with Windows. Cool dude. Greetings, cool dude. You're a cool dude, man. Alright. Also game. You can do it on Linux these days. Watch level 1 tech videos. You can learn a lot from it. Yep. Hey, Windows 10 has been less annoying since I disconnected from the internet and used an external SSD for Linux. Yeah, there you go. Translates DX11 to Vulkan automatically. That's cool. Saying Minecraft and Roboplex plus I have an Xbox Connect. Hold on just a second. Got to boot something up here. Minecraft is in the software manager for Linux Mint. It's among the other things. It's in several different distros. So Minecraft is something you can get on Linux. Roblox, I think that's also Minecraft. Yeah. So, but yeah, how to connect them is a different story, I guess. Used Windows for a long time. Wasn't bad on some things. However, got tired of constant updates and layered security add-ons slowing on your system. Yep. Tom reacts to Windows. Ah! That's how I react to Windows. Tom on Fire, Windows Edition. I need a level 9 IP programmer to program my hacked IP. People listen to my activities. Word Online is free. It is free. You just have to have a silly Microsoft account, which is scary enough. Windows and Linux suck. No full normal OS in 2018. Yeah. I disagree. I agree Windows sucks, but that's just because, you know, the reasons I mentioned a minute ago. I don't think Linux sucks, though, but, you know. I mean, Microsoft taking your data, but you can't take theirs. Yep. Inconceivable. Rip headphones. Okay, problems I gotta use. Hey, I'm gonna stop the recording button. That'd be helpful. Okay, problems I gotta use while in college. Quizzes and grades records are web-based in addition to web-based Office 365. Then lady introducing it and said, since it's web-based, you can use a Mac. That is scary. Well, Keegan, we'll figure out how to make it work on Linux for you. Hashtag send Keegan to school on Linux. Alright, there's a package manager for Windows called Chocolatey. Tried it on my dad's PC when I was helping him install some software. Made using Windows somewhat more bearable. Linux, said in Linux, and she had a puzzled look on her face, and I could see the dean of the computer technology in the corner with an, oh yeah, look. There you go. Plan to get Purism laptop someday. Very cool. Just glad it's free because I have good backup program now. Still want to use LibreOffice because it's offline. Yeah, I don't know how techs or if you have access to like a bunch of servers and stuff, but you can actually run LibreOffice online. It's called Code, Calibora Online. Is it Calibora Online Libre extension or something? I forget. Or document, whatever. But Code is, I run it on my my cloud, uses it. So I don't even need any of that crap. I can run LibreOffice online. Good stuff. That's more complicated though, and it requires, I think you can do it on DigitalOcean. I should try and set it up on DigitalOcean too. Glad it's free because I have a good backup program now. Still want to use LibreOffice because it's, okay, let's see. OneDrive. The only one who finds it annoying that both Word and Explorer OneDrive is much bigger than your local storage. Yeah, that's what they try and do. Can't roll a game on Linux and Windows, full of privacy things. Yeah, there's a lot of gaming on Linux, and it's getting better. This has a number of versions of all their fonts. Yeah. Save as docx every time. You're good at. It's native to MS Office and compatible with LibreOffice. Yep. Driver support in Linux is strong. The driver support is strong with this one. What's my main OS? Linux Mint Cinnamon is what I use for video production. That's what I use for my all-purpose laptop. I still do a lot of my development on Windows 7. I'm currently running Debian, but I'm actually prepped to knock Debian off of this computer any day now. So off my media PC. And of course, I have a Mac Mini over here too. So, but Linux Mint Cinnamon for Linux stuff. MS makes copying fonts harder than it needs to be. Not really. Well, I mean, not in Windows, or not Windows 7, but I don't know. Beats. What program do you recommend for monitoring network traffic? I think Wireshark is the best one, but I don't actually do a lot of that, so I can't help you too much. Take a look at QuidSub's videos on that and see if he has any. To be fair, using OBS on Windows is a bit of a puzzle when you use it for the first time. Well, using OBS on anything is a bit of a puzzle when you use it the first time. It's an advanced program, so. All right. At Pizza Loving Nerd and SwitchedtoLinux, what's your favorite pizza topping to have on a pizza? Mine would be ham. Or good old Canadian bacon, or just regular old bacon. Something with pig. Pig. I like pig on my pizza. Okay, if Linux can make all games work, no problem, all driver support, then Windows would go down. Yeah. Ooh, pineapple's good. Hey, Hawaiian pizza's awesome. That's pineapple and ham. That is awesome pizza. That is one of my good ones. I should do that sometime. I always have pineapple laying around. I'm scared to download WaterFox. Why? It's a good application. Sparky, you're just going to have to sue pizza. That's what he said to do. I think it's good. So I'll be Pizza's defense attorney. How's that? All right. I take a sexual assault prevention course last night before school starts. Only in this country. Only in this country. Drivers for graphics is no good. Incorrect. My graphics drivers are just fine, and they're all open source. NVIDIA might have a little work to do, but still fine. But the computer wouldn't record, so I'll do a 2-hour course. Really? Not sure EA is any better than Microsoft, so why'd I give either of them my money? Yeah, that's my thought. How to create the short link file. I have 1 vote for the short link file to be the first video. Another in drivers, car drivers, scanner drivers, and all scanners. Looks like I might be doing the scanner drivers first. Noah, as long as you are downloading the WaterFox file from the when you're downloading the WaterFox file from the internet, make sure it's directly from the WaterFox's main page, and you should have a hash that you can check the hash. You'll be safe if you do that. Scanner driver install. Going to start a video series where I can run certain OS like Mod OS or Windows 98 for 3 days in my main. Roblox is not on Linux. Thank you. Okay. My Windows 10 partition idles a bit over 3 gigs of RAM usage. My Linux partition uses significantly less. Keep commenting the same thing and deleting it. Daniel doesn't want to leave a trace. YouTube comments, Tails style. As a student, I get Office 365 free. Yeah, that's so Microsoft can collect all of your data. And you do realize that Google and Microsoft are collecting all of this data and the development of children and utilizing all of this data to determine how children develop over the years. You watch it, and in 5 or 10 years, they're going to release studies about how kids have developed over the years using anonymized data from all of the students using these systems. Start menu Windows 10 has a digital footprint of an elephant. When is the ton of fire screen coming back? When you least expect it. As a human, I get LibreOffice for free. Booyah! Absolutely. What about web-based LibreOffice? Anyone? Yeah, you want to see it in action? I'll show it to you in action. As long as I can do it securely, I should be able to figure it out. As long as it doesn't compromise the security or privacy of my personal cloud system, I'll show you. Okay, yep, I think we're good. All right. So here I'm in my cloud. And of course, if you notice, my logo is the Google, the Facebook, and the Microsoft logo, you know, X'd out. Yeah. So if I just come down here and click on a document file here, this one, not sure what we're going to get because this is actually my entire book. All right, so this is actually pre-edited. So this is actually code. So it stands for Calibora Online Development Edition. So basically, this is the entire system online. So of course we have, I mean, literally everything. Now I actually have like Calibri is supposed to be on my server, but it actually for some reason doesn't work. I might actually know the reason why. Maybe I'll have to think about that. If I change something to Arial, you know, if I want to change some text or something to Arial, I can do that for Dana, whatever else. So, you know, you can do whatever you need to do on this kind of stuff here. Of course, I don't really want to do much with it because I don't want to mess up what I have. All right, so this is actually how the system works. It's, you know, same as anything else. You can create new files. You can close files. We have basic information. I have how many words at the bottom. So this is actually my personal cloud system. I can do any of the formatting stuff that I want over here. Let me close that out. Let me see if I actually have the formatted version. I do not have the formatted version. But if I click on new, I can upload a file, I can create a new folder, or I can create a new file of any of these formats. So To create a new document, we're just going to say new test, create that. It creates a new document, and then I can open this guy up over here. So I've actually set my default to be Arial, and the reason I did that is because I have this set up for the person I'm collaborating with another book idea on. He has an server space on my cloud, so he can use this instead of Google Docs when he's working on our individual files. So this is, this is a cool application that took way too long to install. This took me a long time to actually get working. So that's actually what that looks like. Okay. Curious what Tom hates more, Windows 10 or OS X? Lord. OS X. I hate the UI. The UI in Windows is still Windows UI. CPU on my dad's laptop is idling between 50 and 70%, and just open was Firefox. Yep. Let's do Windows 10. He and everyone else in the community thinks Windows is the devil. Yeah. I just hate the UI on Mac. In an online school and use Linux works just fine with LibreOffice. Very cool, Cameron. Very awesome. Start menu is rather ridiculous, but at least it's usable. Barely. Okay. Web-based. Making pizza. Pizza? Are you making yourself? Greetings, Omri. How's it going there? What you doing? Not a lot. We're just kind of wrapping up our discussion. Any other questions, too, about LibreOffice? Let me know. Okay. I am mostly HTML, a little bit of PHP. Mostly I'm a WordPress dev. So WordPress codecs. There you go. Which is essentially a programming language, sort of. Now Chromium open. I'm using 34% CPU. Right now I have dual monitors running, streaming HD, multiple different browsers, OBS. I'm at 15%. Millennium Edition still makes my skin crawl. OBS is like Linux. Once you understand it, you like it. Yep. Just install it. Very good. Very cool. Confirm that in Europe you don't take sexual assault prevention courses at school. Have I resumed the live? Well, I mean, we're live now. What? What do you mean if I've resumed the live? I'm still alive. The cat is still alive. The cat is actually standing up. Kitty, want to say hi? Say hi, Kitty. All right. Okay. Do you think the Software Center is safe to download from, or should I do download sites? For what, Bera? Let us know what you're talking about. Do you get a virus on Linux? Generally, you're generally safe. You have to be careful with things like Zorin that automatically install Wine by default, because guess what? If while you're sitting here saying, use Linux to prevent viruses, and you pre-install Wine, viruses can run on a Linux computer that has Wine on it, because it allows an executable application, executable layer for Windows files, which viruses are Windows files, people. So don't install Wine on a Linux system and call it secure because it's Linux. You can't do that. So yes, you can get viruses on Linux if you are using that. Did I ever use Focusrite? I have not. I don't know what is Focusrite. Linux, Windows, Mac, all you get is viruses. Android, iOS, yes, everything can. Linux viruses are a lot less common. Yep. Like saying you'd be scared of every dog because some bite people. Huh? As a robot, I get LibreOffice free. As a member of the reptilian alien race, I get LibreOffice for free. It's very true. Microsoft Office isn't bad, but I have to pay a monthly fee for something so basic and useful as a word processor. Yeah, and like, as of now, you can still get the copy. It's becoming harder and harder and harder to get the single time I'm buying my Office application. They're really forcing people onto that 365 for an annual subscription. But yeah, I mean, and there's some things like, you know, I do a lot of advanced stuff in LibreOffice because of book writing, and yeah, there's some things that are difficult. They're more difficult than LibreOffice when you're formatting a book. Indexing, there's a few problems with creating indexes that are a little bit messed up in LibreOffice. Endnotes can be clunky to get them where you want them to be. It's not like hard or impossible. It's just a little clunkier than it should be. Basic stuff like that. So, greetings, Alex, and you other handsome penguins. Very cool. Because French bread. Nice. Dogs in general, you can see when they might bite. Usually they warn. X-Files don't. I think the university provided MS Office 365 for free as well. No, it's not the university. It's Microsoft because they want as many people on it as they can. LibreOffice Online, not using Google Docs anymore. Cool. So you got it running too, CS Reindeer. What are you using for your Calibora server, CS Reindeer, if that's what you're running? I'm not a fan of WPS Office, personally. Use WaterFox as my main browser. Yep. I'll tell you, especially on Windows, I put WaterFox on my Windows 7 computer. Love it over there. Oh, loving it so much. About Windows 7 fonts. Type in search engine PP Viewer Fonts Debian. Oh, really? Let me try that real quick. We might have to record the last half of that video again if this works. Yeah, all that's giving me, though, is... Let's see. All that's giving me is the output of the script. And the problem I'm getting is that the script is kind of designed in such a way that it fails at any errors, and it can't find the PowerPoint viewer.exe file. And so with that not being saved, it kind of just stops working altogether. And heck, there's only 2 results for that search, so let's see what the other one is. Yeah, all that does is just gives me terminal output code, unfortunately. But it fails after the first thing. Wait, what? I hate OS X more? Yes, I do. Yep. UI sucks. Okay, correction. UI does not work with the way I work on computers. Can't say it sucks. Some people like it. So offended by your opinion, I'll now unsubscribe. All right, see ya. No, all right, ban you. No, kidding. What's worse, Microsoft or Google? Microsoft. And the reason is Google is, despite having all of this scary data, Google is also tighter with the data. They don't just hand it out. Microsoft wants to collect all the data, but they freely hand it out. And what made me realize that is there was a guy, I was watching a talk from this guy, who's this medical doctor, and they were working on a script to figure out, like, if there's medical interactions, if there's drug interactions, right? And doctors need to know there's entire books and tables of drug interactions. But the question is, if you're on one drug first and then are prescribed a second, do you still get the interaction? Because it's possible you don't, because of the way drugs work and things like that. So the guy wanted to find out what were the signs and symptoms of somebody being on one medication and then starting a second. And he tried to approach Google to get anonymized search data for people searching those general terms, and Google wouldn't do it. They said it's too close to medical information. We don't give that type of stuff out. Well, he was telling this story at a conference and happy sitting next to an executive for Microsoft. And he's like, oh yeah, here's my card. Email me. I'll get you that data. That's a little frightening. So on the basis of that conversation, I think Microsoft is worse. That on top of that, but Google isn't forcing me to use their stuff. Microsoft, unless I'm using, if I'm using a Windows computer, they are forcing me on their data collection platforms, and I have no choice in the say. Google doesn't necessarily. I mean, there might be some small exceptions you could do, but for the most part, I don't. %50 of the game Steam, native on Linux. Say I dig Mac OS X UI, but Scribus is good for making custom-made do-yourself media-rich tutorials. Okay. You talk about the Scribus application. Does LibreOffice provide free server space for your docs? No, my system, you have to host your own Calibora server. There is one place I think you can, like, the only place I know of where you can buy that, it's pretty expensive. And I think from Nextcloud, I think because you can purchase a Nextcloud hosted solution. And the Nextcloud hosted solution will come with that, but it is pricey. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so this would be Nextcloud's basic plan for like Google services type stuff. 1,900 euros a year, 50 users. So it's really geared towards enterprise. There's nowhere for an individual user to pay online for these services. But in reality, how much would it cost you to run it yourself? I think maybe you'd need a VPS to run Nextcloud. Well, I don't know. Like A2 hosting, which I have an affiliate link for. A2 hosting on their shared servers in the terms and conditions, it does not allow you to run Nextcloud. I don't think SiteGround has that, so you could check out the terms of service at SiteGround. So those are SiteGround is SGH. I just threw that in there. And if you want to check out A2 hosting, I just dropped that one in there as well. I run mine on A2 hosting because I have a VPS. I'm allowed to do that. And then I run my Calibora on a AWS EC2 cloud, which you should be able to do on a DigitalOcean cloud as well. You might be able to do it on a variety of different things. What you need is you have to be able to run Docker, and you have to be able to access things from the root terminal. So you cannot install it on a cPanel, but you just pick up those things and you're fine. It uses your Nextcloud install to save your files. So however much you have allocated in Nextcloud, I gave myself 1 gig. I think I have up to like 20 in that file, so I gave myself more if I wanted to, but I don't use cloud services for a lot, so 1 gig is generally sufficient. I just use it to bounce files back and forth. Kitty turned his head on cue. Yeah. It's been 17.3 or 19. You're using 17.3. If 17.3 is working for you and there are no problems you're having with it, then keep it. If there's anything you need, you might ask, can you put that on there? If there's a lot of little things, then an upgrade to 19 might be worth it. 17.3 I think is still supported, and maybe it's supported until 19, I think, 2019. And crafting a lot of my own DIY tutorials, selling them $5 or $10. Pop with some ones online free. Mark, let's talk. Seriously, let's talk. I had some ideas about doing stuff like that. All right. Do you accept PayPal for support? I do accept PayPal for support. Check out, if you go to, let's see, LI/, go to my Switch to Linux website, and on the Switch to Linux website, go to the support page, and there's a link for PayPal. I'll have to put the exact PayPal link in that shortcode. I have not shortcoded it yet. I've lost my place. Okay, like the Windows 10 Start menu, that's why I'm using it. All right. YouTube, stop putting other crap in the comment feeds. Fix the problem with the scroll. Lordy. You touch the thing and it shoots all the way to the bottom. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any questions or anything. We covered those a while ago. Yeah, Office 365 specifically costs money. The online whatever doesn't, I think. I don't know. $96 a year for MS Office. Lovely back in the day. A Windows upgrade was that much. Windows 10 was running slow. Then I'd have to boot up a Linux Live USB mount Windows partition and upload it from there. My thought is, instead of searching the web and also have some videos, some articles, etc., having a unified document in its own repository sorts them. ODT should be the industry standard. I agree. Subscription software is a joke, and it's a bad joke because it hurts. It hurts people who cannot be throwing away the money. The problem is that we understand only personal use or business, and business nowadays means corporate. So EA Games can afford $185 a month to get 3DS Max, but a startup video games company can't. It completely locks them out of there, except for the fact we have Blender. So that's good, I guess. Yeah, and 3DS Max, anything from Autodesk. Does Linux have some impact on hardware like motherboard or something else? Good or bad impact? Not really, that I know of. Are Firefox web-based browsers still trustworthy? Ish. I say ish. I'm thinking they went in some bad directions and they shouldn't have, but that's kind of that. Alternative history videos and eat pizza. Well, see you later, pizza. W getting second line. I thought it was the same thing. I looked at that. Good evening, Steve's very own. How's it going there? If Google keeps getting into everything, someday Google Earth will refer to actual planet instead of the software. Yes. The Google Ledger, man. Okay. Tennessean, honestly, is where I think Google is worse. Yeah. All right, let's look at that. Oh, wow. There's 392 megabytes? Really? That's a big file. There's like, I think there's only like 8 fonts in the pack. Let's go ahead and save it. I'll have a look at it. All right. Downloads. Oh yeah, that's like everything in there. Nice. Yeah, that's a file to keep around. Thank you, man. These files were written from video and audio scattered across the web. Okay, don't know. Sure thing. I'm kind of excited to say a lot. Fix the problem with the scroll. No, probably not. Support page is behaving better for me today. Very cool. Very cool. All right, man. Thank you, Samuel Loader. I appreciate that. Yeah, check out the URL up there if you want those fonts. Arrgh. Sometimes newest releases aren't always the best. I like Ubuntu Mate, but I have buggy issues. All the flavor of Ubuntu 18.04 went back to the last one. Yep, that's why I'm keeping this computer on. I'm keeping this computer on Mint 18.3 for a while. So I'll be sticking with Brave browser. Okay. Google knows more about me than I know about them. Yep. Microsoft just knows that I clicked the start button at 7:13. Yep. See you later, man. Found it. Don't freak. Still doing Patreon. Well, actually, I actually put together, if you guys missed it, I'll go ahead and preview it here. We still have a lot of folks on. I actually have my own direct support page as well. So if you're not wanting to use Patreon and you want to just use my basic one, I'm still working out a few bugs. It's still in beta. But I do have my own support page that looks like this one. It's called Think Life Media, thinklifemedia.com. I put the link in there. So you can actually go here and you can see anytime there's a new video, it instantly will appear on the list. Here's the schedule, which I need to adjust a little bit. Any channel updates can appear over here. And then each page has its own thing with whatever latest whatevers. So there's that. Here's these podcast links for the Christian podcaster over there. If you're looking for services, check out the affiliate page. You can often get deals and it helps support the channel by clicking on these guys over here. And then here's the different support levels. And you get a small discount if you want to buy a year of access to the support site. You get the bronze level, $1 a month gets any of the videos that come offline or some special behind the scenes stuff. Coupon codes for the merchandise store, access to polls, video request form, digital downloads, and advanced tutorials is coming soon. But that you can check out that page there. It's thinklifemedia.com. And you can get more information over there. All right. Okay. Giving access to Ariel for free. Oh boy, Mike Greer. If you if you shave that poor cat, you could say he was a Windows kitty. Yeah, you. They're plotting against you over here, buddy. He's like, you're talking about me, aren't you? Look at this. You're talking about me. We're talking about you, kitty. What do you think? We're talking about you. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Oh, Italians have a separate word for that. Not real Italian food. We call... like rolling up pizza and eating it like a breadstick. Ooh. Mint 19, working well on my ThinkPad. Did have really weird no Wi-Fi issue earlier today. Hard reset fixed the ThinkPad. Heading out. See ya, Paper Bag Man. The only distro which works poorly on my hardware is Ubuntu with XFCE, including Peppermint. Don't know why. I say hi. Hello, everyone. Yeah. Let me do a quick flea check on you. See if your face is still completely covered in fleas. Well, there's one. There's two. Poor kitty. Poor kitty. All right, yeah, he's getting the spray down today. That should clear him up a little bit. All right, only distro, which, okay. I can get R5 1600 AMD CPU for $149. Do you think that's a good price? R5 1600 AMD, yeah, that's a really good price. I think I paid $189 for mine. That is a, yep, that's a very good one. Think about getting silver level, but I need to save some money for a new phone. All right. Yeah, right now, I mean, paid tutorials is pretty good. Habla, greetings. Would you ever do a video about flashing lineage, or can you name a good resource for info on it? I already did a video on flashing lineage. Let me find it for you. Right. Copy image. Oh, don't copy image. Copy link location. All right, 2 videos are coming in. The first one is for de-Googlifying a Nexus 5X. And the second is the entire rest of the phone bill. So those are the 2 videos I have on installing Lineage. I heard a PayPal comes through, so I think that was you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right. Mint 19. Replace Android, not confident I wouldn't brick the phone. I've never had a bricked phone. Flea bomb, be safe. Wouldn't hurt. Yep. What do you think, buddy? He's getting flea bombed today. I know he's going to get the flea bomb. Send you a bonus. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. Do you prefer your Patreon folks come out of the direct support or stay on Patreon? I do not care. It does not matter. Hopefully the goal is they'll kind of mirror each other, and anybody who is on Patreon. So like the thing is, if you're already on Patreon, all you have to do is ask me on Patreon for your access, and you'll get free access to the other site. I mean, the difference is I think Patreon takes between 5 and 10%. PayPal takes 3% directly. So the loss of 6%, between 2 to 6%, isn't a huge deal. It doesn't really matter. And for people who have a Patreon account and are happy with that, probably just stick with that if that works for you. But there's people who don't have or can't access Patreon. And I'm working on ideas to possibly do like Bitcoin. In fact, does anybody know this for a fact? If you were to send me either Bitcoin or Monara through anything, is it possible for you to leave me a note with that? If you can leave me anything you need, and I would be able to accept that, just me doing it manually. So, yeah, I mean, wherever you're at, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I have options so that people, I've options so people can do whatever options they want. It doesn't matter if if you really like Patreon, you're already supporting 15 people on Patreon, and it's easier to do that, stay on Patreon. No problem on my end. It's just if you have no, you have no interest in getting on it, whatever else, you can get it directly on my end. So, thank you, Abla. Okay, making my own digital assistant in Python. Uses Google speech recognition. Isn't there I heard there's like a Linux one, isn't there? Use apple cider vinegar for fleas. I will have to look into apple cider vinegar for fleas. I'm spraying them down with some pretty rigid poison though. So, current email, Tom. I had emailed you. It's a permanent change. Okay, I will check that email. We've hit the bottom of the comment feed, so let's go ahead and do the best way to end a live stream. The best way to end a live stream on YouTube forever and always is by getting this kitty all fired up with the potential of kitty treats. Oh yeah. Let's end this live stream right. Do a final call for comments. Whoa! Oh yeah, buddy. Oh, let's go ahead and raise this one up a little bit. Right here, buddy. Here, buddy. Aww. And let's go with one more, dude. Uh-oh. Looks like the kitty cam's back. All right. Say it froze for a second there. Here you go. That's all you get, but you can lick my fingers though if you want. They're finger licking good, aren't they? Yeah, finger licking good. Yeah. All right. Okay. Come for Linux, stay for the cat. That's right. See if there's any more fleas back here. Any more fleas on you, buddy? Looks like the only place, like, his face is itchy. You can tell his face is itchy. He's got the little wobbly thing going. I'm gonna, yeah. After we close this out, I'm gonna spray down the kitty. All right, let's see. See you, Noah. KFC. Yep. Joe, greetings. Oh, missed the stream. Definitely watch the replay. Yep, I'm gonna be condensing it down a little bit too. I'm gonna be editing it out a little bit. Not that complicated. Basically, it's about ledgers. Yep. All right. Yep. We will catch you guys later. Have yourselves a wonderful afternoon. Once again, hope you enjoy Switching to Linux. And don't forget to check out that thinklifemedia.com. Get more information about all the channels over there. So have a good one, guys. We'll see you later.